Waking with a start, you see the weary smile of the hotel clerk as they are gently shaking you. Look at that puppy! Ooh. We're in chapter 2 already. Ah. You arrive at the Hotel Maxora listed as her place of residence after filling Alex in on the previous night's encounters. So, what's the plan? Just go in there and demand the truth from Miss Maxora, tough cop style? I couldn't tough cop if someone was paying me to. I failed drama class. I did drama. I really liked it. Didn't do super well, but I liked it. I did better in doing acting in college. And now I've completely lost all my skills, honestly. The building is old but well maintained. Rough, clean stone brick and an air of faded majesty in a near-empty area of the city. At the front desk you ask to ring up Miss Maxora's room and let her know you've arrived. Time passes. Tucked into the corner of the room is a drink vending machine. Well, you've squished me! Why am I squishy? Tucked into the corner of the room is a drink vending machine. You drop a coin into the slot and twist the knob. The machine grinds for a moment, then drops your coin into the return slot. It's out of Savage Stomp. It's always empty. I don't think it's ever been refilled. It was the Kaiju. No! I don't want to get squishy. But I guess it's Kaiju, so it's okay. I've never been so disappointed. Never? Okay, once, but it turned out my toy rocket ship was behind the sofa the whole time. It says a lot about you, Detective. It says that he's adorable. Maxora is standing more confidently than you'd seen in the office. Gone is the almost theatrical fragility of the night before. There's not that much of me to know. Pleasure to see you again, Miss Maxora. Yeah, I am. I'm simp. We simp for Carrie. Look at that. Look at those big purple horns and spikes. He's like a Godzilla with big ears. But better, because he got a snoot too. You can boop that. Look at boop. Stroke and boop. Should stop smoking though. Stop it. Please, Detective. I asked you to call me Max. No need for formalities here. As you wish, Max. You're paying after all. On that note, there's some things I'd like to discuss with you in private. Is there somewhere we can talk? She motions to a couple of ancient lounge chairs in the corner. I'm one of the only residents staying in the hotel, and the clerk at the front desk is hard of hearing, so we should be able to talk here. As you wish. Yawning again, that probably means I'm not breathing properly. Pair of you take your seats. The surface world design of the meaning you have to find a comfortable place for your tail. That's one thing I always think about when I think of chairs and anthro characters, is actually like normal human benches don't make sense. Like if you have big tails or wings or anything like that, you need a very, very different back. Or, you know, some kind of gap for them to slot into. And then I often think about what... This is the wrong hand. I can put that one there. There we go. And then I think about the shape of toilets. What kind of toilets would they be like? What they need, because you can't sit with a tail on the toilets that we have, but nobody draws anthro toilets. So I actually designed one. Can't draw it, but I've sketched it. I've like conceptualized it. So you know, if you need furry toilets, I'm your fox. I forgot what the previous one was. Never mind. Well, I mean, the amount of like bathroom scenes that people draw, it's kind of surprising. Yes. Long enough, it's a decent place. Clean, quiet, out of the way. Sometimes you don't need anything fancy. But I mean, seriously, and like world building is one of those things that is... The thing I like about here is that they've kind of sort of subverted the need for that by saying that these are relics of things they brought from the human world, like fashion and obviously the idea of movies and furniture and stuff like that, the design from the human world. But if you were creating a world that was entirely anthros, had been from the very beginning, then you wouldn't have chairs the way they were, you'd probably have a lot more like stools and perches and bars, and if it had a back, it would be, you know, it almost like you'd have two sides with a groove for the tail in the middle. I would have to look at Splatoon to see. I have not played it, so I'm not familiar with the deep lore of the Splat and all the inklings and stuff like that. I'm just surprised you aren't staying with your family. Do they live in the city? Are you investigating me now, detective? Let's just call it professional curiosity. Us PIs get used to asking lots of questions. My family is always busy. As such, things can get a little hectic from time to time. So I come here once in a while for some peace and quiet. Any other questions you'd like to ask, detective? Or should we get back to business? Subtle or confrontational? Let's be subtle. Business, of course. I encountered Lorathrak last night. He seemed a bit unsettled, and I wonder if you know anything more about him. Not much, detective. I've only met him once. That was when he gave me the blackmail demand. The demand, of course. You wouldn't have it with you, would you? She looked suddenly taken aback. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes. Yeah, so you'd have the remnants of human stuff, and obviously they'd be modified. I mean, the Splatoon, the Inklings are kind of human anyway, so there's not like a lot that they would need to like edit for them. But I mean, obviously they're squid beings, so there are sort of other bits and pieces that will affect the design of things. What do you mean? The demand. I'm assuming he gave you a note or something. Otherwise, how would you know how much and who to give it to? Sitting in silence, it's easy to see the different emotions flicking across her face. What aren't you telling me, Miss Maxora? In the distance, you hear the clerk handing out keys to a resident, but the area around you remains in tense silence. I think it's about time you told me the truth, Maxora, or should I call you Caesorius? She looks up, startled. He told you that name, huh? You nod. You told me a lot of things, including that you've not been honest with me, that this whole case is a ruse. I don't like being lied to, and I don't like knowing what to call. I don't like not knowing what to call you. Keep calling me Max, detective. I don't use that other name anymore. I guess you should tell me the truth now, shouldn't you? It's come to the truth already, has it, detective? It would be a nice change of pace. I really wish that damn vending machine was working. I need a drink. We could go somewhere? She shakes her head. Not in this part of the city, all too public. Could you grab me some water, though? There should be a jug on the counter. You stand, walk to the front desk, fill a couple of cups from the pitcher, nod to the clerk, and return to Maxora, putting them on the table between you. Thank you, detective. Now, no doubt Law told you more than just that name, correct? You nod again. He told you we've some history between us. That you worked together, yes. What else did he tell you? What should he have told me, Max? Well, it's true that we worked together. Laura and I were entrusted with the task of collecting a certain item. An artifact of considerable value that carried with it considerable risk. And what item is that? Maxora picks up a glass and sips from it. Tell me, detective, have you ever heard of the Crimson Old One? The what? Look at it! I want to see the kaiju that's based off. Although it's not dissimilar to Carrie, actually. The Crimson Old One, an idol carved from a single giant ruby dug from the cavern that surrounds New Monstropolis by the first kaiju. It is said that the light that refracted from the ruby was enough to illuminate the world below, and that the first kaiju war was waged over who would claim it. Oh, go for it, yeah. We like a good simp. Millennia before the humans climbed down from their trees. It is also said that those who would possess the Crimson Old One would reign over our kind until the end of days. But we live in a blatantly corrupt oligarchy. I can't see the big tusks up at the city hall giving up their seats to someone lugging a shiny rock around the city. You're right. Trying that would probably land you at the bottom of the lake wearing a stone overcoat. So why all the excitement over a shiny pebble? Firstly, the idol represents immense spiritual significance for many kaiju in this city. Second, it has historic value dating back hundreds of millennia. And finally, it's a giant ruby. Do you have any idea what that's worth to the right collector? What do you have to do with the rock? Well, I was supposed to be getting the idol into the city to sell on. Into the city? You mean it's been out there on the surface? Aren't as thick as you look, detective, are you? You should see me solve a crossword puzzle. The statue has been traded, stolen, sold, and killed for in the human world for thousands of years. I doubt even they know for how long for, or where it originated. So how did you track it down? That's something I don't know. The plan was Law would track it down. I'd organised to get it past the gates. Another colleague would make the sale to a collector and we'd split the loot. So what happened? I don't know. The idol was supposed to pass to me from my contact at the gate. Only when I got there I heard that he'd had an accident and the idol was missing. Yeah, I don't think it's never one of those visual novels, so you may have to just kind of fantasize about that. But one of those accidents where folks just up and die. Exactly that kind. You pick up your cup and take a drink. So why do you up and run? I'd been paid an awful lot of money to get the idol into the city, most of which had gone towards bribes, storage, and my contacts in the human world, none of whom was prepared to work with a kaiju for cheap. If Law thought I'd betrayed them, they would be after me. I had to make the first move. So what do you plan to do now? Just wait here until it all blows over? No, detective, I'm planning to find out where that damn statue is and finish this deal so I can get on with my life. So there's no blackmail case? No, never was. Fine. Then my work is done on that matter. I'll let my assistant know and he can do you up a letter of completion and an invoice for services rendered. I'm sorry we couldn't make this work. And I'm sorry about the lies. Is that everything, detective? Not quite, Max. Now you and I need to discuss another matter. What other matter? You just closed the case. You take another sip and say the words that will land you in more trouble than you could imagine. The matter of you hiring me to find that statue. She looks up, startled. You'd work for me, considering everything? I see it like this. Never mind. I couldn't be a detective. I'd keep muddling my words. I see it like this, Miss Maxora. Either you're lying to me again, in which case you'll keep paying me up until the point we both become too bored to carry on with the charade. Or you're telling me the truth about being on the hunt for a missing cultural treasure of unmeasurable value that could make everyone involved filthy rich. In which case, I want in. Also, I haven't had an interesting case in months, and this sounds like it could be fun. Maxora sits with the cup in claw, no doubt thinking about ways to take control of the situation. Hot guy statue. Okay, detective, what are your terms? 2 weeks retainer in advance. This is going to eat up all my time and have an assistant to keep fed. Consider it insurance, in case of any more unforeseen accidents. Oh, don't you trust me, detective? Don't you like me? I like you plenty, Max, but I don't trust you any more than I do most folks in this city. Maybe even less, given the circumstances. Whoops. That's fair enough. You've earned the right to be mistrustful of me. And if the idol story is true, then I want 10% of the sale price. I don't care how you get that, whether it's from your share or split with the others. Call it a finder's fee. Whoops. Oh, you can scroll up and down. Wow. She looks directly into your eyes for a moment, sizing you up for haggling, but you don't waver. We have a deal, detective. I don't have the money on me right now for your retainer, but I'll have it sent to your office. As you finish your water, the edges of the room start to spin. Your heart starts racing and Max slips in and out of focus. Fuck. She drugged the drink. In all honesty, I'm sorry about this, Carrie. I didn't know if I could trust you. Not with my life on the line. Find the statue and you'll get everything that's coming to you. Start with law, detective. I'll be in touch. She leans in close and you can feel her icy breath on your ear. Follow the trail of the Crimson One. She's so cool. The gaping maw of oblivion swallows you whole. Chapter 3. This is where the demo ended last time, so this is all new to me. Waking with a start, you see the weary smile of the hotel clerk as they are gently shaking you. Look at that puppy! Miss Maxora said you needed some rest and not to wake you until she'd left. She didn't say you were such a heavy sleeper. It's free real estate. Yeah. Look at them. Spiky puppy, spiky scaly puppy. Spiky scaly tusky toothy puppy. You rub the blurriness out of your eyes and look around. The clock in the corner showing 3 hours passed since you arrived. Where's Miss Maxora now? She checked out about an hour ago, didn't leave a forwarding address, never stays for long, but I'm always happy to see her. They smile and help you stand, with their massive claws. She left a card for you. Just a moment. Stop squishing me! No squishing, chat. They shuffle over to the desk and return, handing over a rectangle of white card with a crudely drawn picture of a squat creature in red ink. Oh, like me, like these... like these, emojis here. Whoops. I'm a squashed creature in red. Whoops. Okay. Always drawing that little fellow. I find a couple of these little cards in her room whenever I clean up. A mascot or a cartoon character, maybe? Something like that. You turn the card over to see the words, "Find it, then find me, Max," written on the back. Do I like it? Do I really? What else do you know about Miss Maxora? They give a happy shrug and shamble behind their polished stone slab of a reception desk. Not a lot. At this hotel, we respect our residents' privacy and make it a point not to ask personal questions. I used to be a receptionist. I feel this is very me. But she's clean, keeps to herself, and tips well. All I could ask in for a resident. Hey, hello. Thank you for the follow. Yee. My name was in the way. I need to get rid of that. You flick the clerk a coin. You run a nice hotel. Miss Maxora returns. Please tell her I'll be in touch. They nod appreciatively and you walk out into the city. Back in your office, Alex is standing behind his desk looking furtive. Oh, we like furtive. That's a good word. You look upset. What happened? We suddenly received a rather large sum of money through the mail slot. What would you say? Oh, if we suddenly received it, what would you say? I'd ask when we got a mail slot. Carrie, did such a thing happen? I'm not saying anything without a lawyer. You don't want a lawyer in this time of night. They give you indigestion. Aha! Was this hypothetical sum of money enough to cover 2 weeks of work? He narrows his eyes. 2.5. I gather from your expression it was from Miss Maxora. What do you want me to do with it? You laugh and lean against the door frame. Go get yourself a new chair, Alex. Our Miss Maxora turned out to be a bigger client than we expected. Fill the kitty... What? Fill the kitty. Fill the tea kitty, too. Oh, if there's anything left, take what I owe you in back pay. Are you sure? You didn't do anything illegal, did you? Like foolish illegal? Not yet, but I may have to, and I want to make sure you and I are square. Whatever you say, Carrie, I appreciate it. What did happen at the hotel? You were gone for hours. You tell Alex the full story, law, the crimson old one, the tranquilizer in your drink. He nods along quietly without interrupting. It's a pretty fucked up situation. I'm not sure if I feel comfortable taking a case from someone who'd do that. Are you going to be okay? I'll be fine. Just a little groggy. She'll be paying double for that little stunt, though. Do you think she's telling the truth? She did drug you, after all. If she isn't, she's willing to pay a lot to keep me around on the back of a lie. And if she's being honest, highly doubtful. But in some mystery novel world where she is telling the truth, we get to track down an artifact of wealth beyond imagining and make a bucket of cash in the process. If you don't get killed while you're out there. What makes you think I'll get knocked off? You remember what happens to anyone who gets their paws on the treasure in those movies you're so fond of? Bang. One in the back, in a dark alleyway somewhere. It's a damn massive ruby, Carrie. Do you really think there aren't those out there already dying for it? Oh, right. Accidents. Got any advice for me to avoid ending up like that? Aside from don't get killed, keep your eyes open and your snout out of the wrong places. But it's such a good snout. Protect it. Protect the snout. And those little beady little eyes glinting away. Keen insight as ever. Well, I'm going to go have a nap in my office, still feeling a bit woozy. You look it, that must have been one hell of a drink. Then what? Then I go have a chat to Lorathrak again. He might have a thread I can pull. How hard do you intend to pull? Hard enough that he answered my damn questions. Wait me in an hour. Okay, have fun. Enjoy Final Fantasy. Go be gay. When you get back to the last gulp, Rax is the only one there, sitting at the bar, a can in each hand, watching the Kaiju Wrestling League on the television. Oh, that sounds cool. I want to see that. Oh, you squish me again. You take a seat beside him and grab a handful of bar snacks. Yes, be the biggest gay cat. You take a seat beside him and grab a handful of bar snacks. One head looks up at you briefly and returns to the screen. You know what I love about Kaiju League? No drama like in the human fights. Not a wrestling fan, I take it. Yay. Yeah, go for it. Turning to watch the screen, you see two powerfully built monsters tearing at each other with claw, tooth and tail. I need to play Minecraft a little bit. I have to sign into my Microsoft account and I have absolutely completely forgotten what that was. So that's a problem. Because I have it on the PS4. I have it on the PC as well, but I got scared when there was so much. To be fair to the humans, they don't heal like most of us, too squishy and soft. They have to make more of a show out of it, yeah. Rax laughs into one of his beers. True enough, they don't taste too bad either. Wouldn't know, I've never been outside the city. I like it down here. What do they like, the humans? Crunchy. He looks down in quiet thought for a moment. As bad as us, really. There's just more of them and they don't know when to quit. Yep. If you really want to meet one, go ahead down to the political district. I hear there's a few at the embassy. We have an embassy? Jeez. No thanks. I'd be too worried I'd step on them. I'll stick to seeing them in the films. He laughs and drinks out of both cans at once. They squish pretty good too. They never show that in the movies. Heck of a mess to clean off later though. On the screen, one of the wrestlers roars in victory while what's left of their opponent is dragged from the pit. Jeez, they really go for it. Crikey. That was brutal. Tame as far as this stuff goes. No one dies in the KWL. Union rules. Maimed is fine, but you come out breathing. Broodmum told me in the old days if you went into the pit you came out a winner, or in bits. She was one of the winners. Good old unions. Can't imagine how screwed this city would be without them. Even with the corruption, I'd rather them ruining things. Running things. Well, whoops. Same difference maybe. At least in this case. You want a drink? Got some time before we open up. Give me a savage stomp. Don't want anything stronger? No thanks, I don't drink booze. Makes me feel like shit. Also, I don't think you got much behind that bar that's less than 160 proof. Any of that gets near me, I'm likely to burn the place down. Oh, he's a fire-breathing kaiju. Yeah. Fair enough. Folks here like to get drunk in a hurry, them that can metabolize alcohol anyway. Can't blame them. Whoop, whoop, whoop. He reaches over the bar, grabs you a can and goes back to watching the show. Looks like a highlight reel. You back for another round in the ring with Law? Yeah, got some follow-up questions for him, maybe a swear word or two. He'll be here soon. Maybe a mound of kaiju crap, but he's punctual with his drinking. You drink and watch the game. You never could get into the league fights. City's violent enough without making a sport of it. Oh. Let's go with Alex. Let's find out more about Alex. So how do you know Alex? You two seem to have a bit of history. You could say that. Not sure how much I can talk about. He and I were in the same attack wave during the war. He fought in the harbours, me in the cities. What a fucking mess that was. Not a lot of us left who remember those final days. I'm glad Alex made it back. He's a good kid. Shouldn't have been out there in the first place. He doesn't talk about it much. Can never tell if he wants to talk or just wants to forget. Both, probably. Shit like that just doesn't go away. He sighs and sags a little. Sorry, talking is tough. Bartenders listen, we don't talk a lot. Comes with the territory. I appreciate you telling me. Rack sets both empty cans down and turns ahead to you. Did you mean it when you said you were a good detective? I'm the best in the city. Also the only one in the city that's not a cop. It'll do. You said you're on a case. Would you have a problem with taking on a second? Ooh. As long as I don't conflict, I've got some flexibility. What's the case? I need you to find my sister. Doesn't seem a difficult job. Just stick up a few missing kaiju flies. Why ask me? Because it's not that simple, detective. Alex says you're good at the delicate stuff if you catch my drift, and I trust him. Yeah, help all the kaiju. Of like Kaiju Okami Animal Crossing stuff going on. Also, I don't trust the cops for obvious reasons. When I lost contact with her, we were both very different kaiju. We all change, Rex. Detective. Call me Carrie. Carrie. Sorry, I'm not used to talking about this stuff. And this doesn't leave the room. He takes a deep breath, something two heads are able to do particularly well. When I shipped out, she was just starting her transition. Hadn't even chosen her name yet. Oh, fuck. Yeah, oh, fuck. I left and I didn't get to tell her I loved her before they herded us out the gates to fight. Fuck, that's rough. Taking 2 more cans from behind the bar, he opens them in the teeth of one jaw. Damn rough. So I don't have a name, not one that she'd go by now. I don't know what she looks like and I don't know where to start. You both drink in silence for a few minutes. I'll take the case. This one hits a bit close to home, so I'll do it no charge. Hey. Good kaiju. Pat, pat, pat. Can I pat? Can I pat? Let me pat. Let me pat. Pat the kaiju. Pop, pop, pop. I can't. It won't let me. That's as far as I can go. Oh, wait. Ooh. Whoops. No, I'm on here now. No. My mouse is stuck. There we are. Oh, it's because I was looking at the mouse on there. Okay. Now I can pat. Nope. Where's me? There we are. Pat, pat, pat. Hand upside down. Well, you get the drift anyway. Almost worked. Let's scroll back because... yeah. I ain't going to ask you to do this for nothing. Don't sweat it. My other case is paying more than enough to cover my time. If you want to pay, then set me up with a tab at the bar. If I find her, scrub the tab. If I don't, I'll settle it next week. He scowls at the compromise. Typical kaiju stubbornness. You think you can find her that fast? I've been looking for years. You'd be amazed what I can do when I start poking around. So what do you have that I can work with? I can't exactly just go around the city sticking up wanted signs for a trans kaiju that was separated from their family during the war. I'd need Alex at the door just to hold back the queue. Damn humans. You know we didn't have to think about gender bullshit till they came around. We were just monsters. Tell me about it. Of all the social construct crap we had to pick up from them, that has to be the weirdest. Capitalism was a pretty bad idea too. Anyway, I don't have much to go on. If I did, I'd found her by now. I like these kaiju. It was probably clear, but I like these kaiju. But if you find her, please give her this. Ooh, green. He hands over a carved green stone on a strand of scale hide. She'll know what it means. Not much to go on. No name, no description, just the necklace. Now you know how I feel. More than you know, Rex. The television program finishes and you're glad you can't hear the obnoxious advertisements over the bar's music. It's about time folks will start lumbering in. I should get to work. He downs both cans, throws them into the bin along with your empty drink and stomps around behind the bar. What about your family? We don't have much, not what you'd call real family. You know how it goes. All too well. Oh, so I wonder if Carrie is trans too. I'll have a talk to Alex and we'll see what we can think up. He's a smart one. What do you do then? Ask irritating questions and look good in a hat. Oh yeah. Life goals. I feel like that's a lot of non-binary life, isn't it? I look good in hats and I ask irritating questions to break systems. Rax nods and starts serving the slow trickle of customers coming up for drinks. About 20 minutes later, Law stomps through the door and towards his regular table. There's your boy. Please refrain from hitting him with a chair without letting me know first, so I can get a good view. Thanks. Can you give me his usual? Rax pours out a cup of something smelling like industrial solvent. One head looking ready to spit, thinking better of it, and hands it over. Good luck, Slick. You walk across to Law's table and place the cup in front of him. Law, what a surprise seeing you again. Seeing you here. I thought you'd be thirsty, so I bought you a drink. What do you want, Flatpaw? Can't you leave me in peace? What, I missed this charming conversation? Never. I just felt like buying a drink for my friend Law, and here you are. Bullshit, you're a bad actor. If you think I'm going to toss you a coin to perform, you're delusional. Good thing you're not paying then, isn't it? Now drink your damn sludge. What are you being paid for then? I already told you I ain't blackmailing anyone. No one you know, anyway. Go talk to the dame and leave me the hell alone. Oh, I did talk to her. Had a good long talk before she slipped me some knockout drops. She told me about how you two work together and how you're looking for a certain object. And you trust a dame who drug your drink, not a bright one, are you? Law sniffs at the putrid liquid in their cup, downs most in one gulp and coughs wretchedly. You should drink slower, that crap can't be good for you. Shut it, Flatpaw. Did she tell you where it is? Can I unshut it long enough to tell you? She doesn't have it. Says her courier died before they could meet the handover. She's hired me to find it. Hired you with our money? Polite monster never asks. I bet. Well, if she's got her claws and cash on you, she must still want to find the idol. One or two. She must still want to find the idol. Maybe the dame didn't cheat us after all. Can't tell you that for sure, Law. Contrary to what you think, I learned not to trust Kaiju who drugged me. It's a good instinct. So what's the plan, Flatpaw? How do you plan to find our property? Same way I'm doing such a good job annoying you by asking a lot of questions. You're good at that, at least. Thank you. I make sure to practice in the mirror every morning. Excuse me. Kaiju noises. Wah, from my stomach. Oh. Sometimes I ask myself questions so abrasive I should even shock myself. I would believe that. You seem like the sort of kaiju that could piss off a stone wall. So tell me, Law, how many kaiju know about the idol, aside from you, Maxora, and I? Why do you want to know? Hang on, wait, go back. How many kaiju know about the idol? Say I want to get paid. Because I want to get paid. I've got a hungry assistant and a parasitic demon for a landlord. Oh, aren't all landlords parasitic demons? And asking you who the hell knew about the deal might help that situation. How'd you figure that? No, wait a minute. You who the hell knew about it? Because you're all still around. Because if Maxora had stolen the goods, she'd be out on her wings to cash in. And if you'd nabbed it, you wouldn't be in this hole getting wasted on what I can only guess is industrial solvent. And if your other partner had it, they would have paid you off by now. He looks into the dregs of a cup and swirls it around. You got me there. There's someone else involved. Our backer. Figured you weren't the brains behind all this. Who are they? Can't tell you. They like their privacy. Can't exactly blame them considering the trouble that rock has caused. A rock worth several fortunes. Fortunes aren't worth shit when you're dead. I hand through my chest somehow. What are you reflecting on? There's nothing there. Ain't a lot of us get to come back after we take the fall. Still, someone has to have known about the deal. Max is too personally invested to let something like this go tail up. I put too much faith in that dame. In this city, you got to put your faith in something. I put mine in money, which she's paying me a reasonable amount of. And if I could get you more than she's paid, a lot more, what would I do with it? I already have a nice coat. If I help find the rock, I'll have enough to never have to worry about rent ever again. If I don't find it, I at least have enough to get myself a new hat. These things aren't cheap. Besides, I have a rule, no conflicting cases. My assistant would never let me hear the end of it. He traces some of the spilled liquid over the tabletop with a claw, its surface rainbow-hued in the low light, or like iridescent liquids. Then what's your plan? Start turning over rocks till you find a red one? Better than that. You get me a meeting with whoever is backing the scavenger hunt. It's too many questions and I need a few of them answered. I'll try. Can't promise they'll talk to you. Tell them if they want their shiny pebble, they will talk to me. The longer they wait, the harder it'll be to get the thing back. You write down your office address on a stained napkin. When you arrange a time, here's my address. Business hours only, please. Law skewers the napkin onto a leg spine and finishes his drink. Handy! I would do that. Thanks for the drink, detective. Thanks for the chat, Law. You've been charming as always. I'll see you when I see you. On the way out, you tip your hat to Rax and head back to the office. Hopefully Alex hasn't headed home yet. You've got a lot to catch him up on.